1.2 acres out here in Poulsbo, Washington. My name's Miles McLaughlin with Wilco Land. What we do is we buy and sell raw vacant land. So this is our niche and this is what we do. So in this video, I'm going to cover some common questions. I'm going to talk about the property. I'm going to talk about some due diligence that we've done. I do want to say this is a disclaimer. This isn't real estate advice. This isn't legal advice. You as a buyer, you as a customer need to conduct your own due diligence. You're responsible for making sure the property is the right fit for you as the buyer, right? We sell all of our land as is. So just want to kick off the video with that. I do have the property listed as well. If you are looking to work with a real estate agent, it is on the MLS listed with Ryan Smith at John L. Scott. So you can get with me. I can share contact information of our realtor too if you want some help with viewing the property or with your due diligence. So, and again, we're happy to try to guide you in the right direction too. But getting started here, we're looking down on the property. I want to talk first about this section, which is probably your best potential build site. And this is us standing down here with the previous owner, but probably your best potential build site right here. When I look at this property, it's not a place for a mansion. It's a great private lot. It's not in an uppity, snobby neighborhood. It's for somebody who wants maybe a shop with some living quarters. Maybe it works for an RV. Maybe you want to get creative with like tiny homes or some other type of manufactured home, right? You got to work with the county. You got to make sure the zoning fits and all that good stuff. But this is a great candidate for a small build. Like I said, a tiny home or maybe a shop with some living quarters. So even if you're not going to do anything with it today, like this is an awesome investment in Poulsbo. Let's take a peek at the location here for a minute. I mean, we are right outside of Poulsbo here on 307 off Bond Road. And as close as you are to Bond Road here, this is a really private, the shelter belt and the tree line here is super dense. It's like you feel like you're in the woods on this property. And so the property has power. When we're talking utilities, the property has power, or at least power is going to be the least of your concerns. I should say it's right there. And there is a shared well agreement. I don't know how to decipher this, but there is some sort of shared well agreement. I'm sure you have to look into, is the well still active? Is it capped or what? Right? I mean, talk with maybe a builder or somebody who works with wells. Maybe somebody at the county environmental health could help you out with that. But this is a well use maintenance agreement back from 1983 for the property. Nobody's developed on this particular piece of land that we're talking about. So I don't know how that's going to work if you're going to go build or tap into that well. I assume you have the ability to drill your own well if you want to. And who knows, maybe this area has city utilities, sewer and water being run to the property sometime down the road. When we talk long-term investment in this property, like that's a real thing that could happen, right? And that would increase the value of this property exponentially. So again, in the meantime, you have this tangible piece of land. The previous owner was using it for some sort of storage up here. So this is actually on the property too. It's like a benched off. It's a bench on the property that you can see right here that this person was using for storage. So like I said, and this is your potential build site. So to me, again, the target audience here is somebody probably looking for a smaller build. And I say smaller build, not only because of limited capacity here, but, and again, I'm not a developer and I haven't done a deep dive into this. So I want to be clear that, my due diligence is fairly surface level and I get feedback from folks like here's a drawing here. Here's somebody did some due diligence and I think worked with an engineer even. They had somebody draw out there where the best build site was. And so here's kind of your building footprint, right? In red there, buildable area. So I think a geotech maybe put this together. They paid some money to have this done. And their real estate agent shared it with me. And the reason they didn't end up pursuing the property and purchasing it is because they're looking for 3+ bedroom home. The septic system that was going to fit on this property would not have worked for 3+ bedrooms. And so that's why, we have a lower price. We're open to cash offers. We're open to getting something done with somebody who's interested in this property. And so, the real question is like, you got to get creative with land use, right? So maybe it's a 2-bedroom home. Maybe it's a 1-bedroom home. Maybe it's that shop with living quarters. Maybe it's a manufactured home. So, tiny homes, things like that. There's going to be a lot of people that don't need 3+ bedrooms. In today's day and age, there are people looking for more affordable options, right? Like if I pull up Zillow, there's not a lot in Poulsbo under $100,000. And that's where we are. We're under $100,000 for an acre plus out here in Poulsbo. We're the cheapest listing. I have a filter in here by land. I mean, here's one for 10,000 square feet for 85 grand. If I were to just sort low to high, third of an acre here. I mean, that's pretty cheap. Kind of looks like the side of a cliff and probably an HOA. It looks like just based on that photo. But you got to definitely an HOA, I would assume there. Yeah. So, we're not in an HOA. We're unrestricted. Here's 8,000 square feet for 7,500. And then here's ours, 1.2 acres for 88. So we're trying to be competitive. We're saying, hey, we're in the business of moving land fast. So then if we look at homes in Poulsbo, I mean, you can't get into a house. If I remove land, you just can't. I mean, if you could put some sort of manufactured home on this property, the cheapest you're going to get in the Poulsbo area is 425, 460, 475. So, I don't know the cost of development. I haven't looked into all that. I'm just trying to share kind of what goes through my head when we buy land investments. You can see that the market, says we have a good value out here, right? Like I said, I've got it listed with with Ryan Smith out of John L. Scott. And so, are we willing to sell, for a discount if you're a cash buyer? Yes. You got to make sure the land's right fit for you. First and foremost, we do offer seller financing and things like that. But yeah, our preference is going to be a cash deal any day. And so if you are interested in this property, get with us. Like I said, the location's unbeatable. We're a business that moves land fast, and we are open to offers. So if you have any questions, give me a shout here at 605-299-5553. And we do have other properties in Washington State on the homepage. If you're not interested in this, this type of investment, we've got stuff out in Stevens Pass. We buy out on the coast. So take a peek at the homepage, all across the Northwest, Utah, Minnesota, Idaho, Montana, Washington, Oregon, we'll have a lot of different type of land investments. So, again, something up in Port Hadlock. And I've got some other property out there in Stevens Pass too, that we just went through, and then Leavenworth. So, get with me if you have questions. Like I said, we also have a realtor listing the property too if you have more questions about it or want somebody to show you. But yeah, Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. Thanks for tuning in.